25,000 at that time in a month. And I remember calculating the numbers and not believing the number. I was like, this is crazy. And that was crazy to me at that time. And I remember calculating the numbers, going to my partner and telling him about it. And telling him, listen, this is what just happened. Like, I can't believe it. And he wanted to go out and celebrate. And so he said to me, hey, let's go have dinner. And I remember we went into the car and he was talking to me. And in that moment, it felt like I completely zoomed out. I was not present. I was shaking. Like, I remember just my body being very shaky, and I kept checking my phone all the time. I don't know why, but I kept checking my phone. I tried to distract myself from feeling what I was feeling. And then, we had dinner and we came back home. And I just remember feeling so uneasy. During this night, I couldn't sleep. And what happened afterwards is so interesting. Because afterwards, I started to doubt myself. Afterwards, I started to ask myself if I could recreate the success. Afterwards, instead of feeling that excitement and that momentum that I just created and feeding off of that momentum, I felt like this energetic collapse. I all of a sudden had a complete, I blanked out. Like, I forgot what I wanted to say on social media. I forgot who I was. I stopped showing up as my best self and I stopped doing the things to keep building on that momentum. And I remember a month later, I actually had a free masterclass that I was going to hold. And the free masterclasses are how I usually convert my people into my world. Now, during this free masterclass, I remember feeling so off, and I had a lot of people signed up. And I just remember feeling so off, not feeling motivated, feeling like I didn't belong, feeling like I was a fraud, feeling like the complete opposite of what I felt the month before. And it did not make any sense, because shouldn't I be excited? Shouldn't I want to celebrate? Shouldn't I want even more and to feed off of that momentum and feel so proud of myself that I made it happen? But instead, I'm feeling the complete opposite. And I just remember feeling so tired and feeling so disappointed that I wasn't able to recreate that success. And then what happened is my income dropped. And it kept dropping month after month after month. So I had the 25,000 that was in July. And then month after month after month, my income would start dropping. And it did not make sense because strategically, I kept doing what I needed to do. Strategically, I kept showing up. I kept doing those masterclasses. And during this time, I wasn't aware of something deeper that was going on within me. And that deeper thing that was going on was my nervous system standing in my way of expanding my wealth and expanding my success. At that time, my nervous system was not able to hold the success that I just created. For the first time in my business, I had a lot more eyes on me. I had a lot more clients in my world. I made a lot more money than I ever made. And this was something I've never experienced before. The level of success, the level of wealth, the level of achievement is something I've never experienced in that way before. I always wanted it on a conscious level, but while I created that, my body could not hold it. And after some time, as I was reflecting back on what was actually happening, I started seeing other entrepreneurs go through a similar cycle. They had a big month, and then afterwards the income would drop. They attracted a lot of clients, and then they stopped doing the actual thing that would continue building on that momentum. They got a lot of visibility, and then they stopped posting. They stopped doing the thing to keep making them visible. And I was reflecting on this because I said to myself, why is it that we know how to create the success, but then the maintenance of that success or the continuing growth, we sabotage. We don't continue taking the action that we're supposed to take. Or we feel like we have this like collapse or this loss of faith. And I learned that it wasn't about doing more, hustling harder, finding another strategy to make it work. What I actually needed to do was regulate my nervous system and increase my capacity for the wealth, for the success, for the clients that I was attracting, that I was creating. At that time, I had no idea. At that time, I thought it was normal. It was normal to have a dip, an income dip, and keep having income dips. I thought it was normal to feel panicky. I thought it was normal to feel scared. I thought it was normal to feel overwhelmed. I thought it was normal to doubt myself. I thought it was normal to hire another strategy coach. I did all these things. But what I actually needed to do was to look within and ask myself, why am I reacting this way? Why is my nervous system not able to hold the level of success I'm creating? Why am I shrinking the moment I grow? Why don't I believe that I deserve to have this money? And this was all happening on a subconscious level because consciously, of course, I wanted to have that success. Consciously, of course, I was excited. And then again, I started looking left and right and I started seeing other entrepreneurs have the exact same situation happen to them. They have this big surge, they have this big momentum, they have this big success. And then it's like the income drops, they collapse, and they're not able to grow again. They're not able to create more. They're not able to pick themselves back up. They either spend all the money, they sabotage, they don't do the thing that they're supposed to do to keep growing their income. Because the work that I teach is not just about, hey, let's just keep making consistent income. You don't only want to make a certain amount of money, but you also want to keep growing it, right? As a business owner, you want to keep growing it. But if you constantly are going through these cycles of making a lot of money one month and then not again, making a lot of money another month, and then you feel like your income is dropping, you are more doing this rather than this. And if we want this, I mean, I don't know which way you're seeing this, but you're getting the point, right? If we want this, if we want that growth, and we want to grow month after month, our nervous system needs to be ready to hold what is actually going to happen outside of us. Because the thing is, our nervous system is not wired for anything that is not familiar to us. And if you grew up around, negative money beliefs, if you grew up around criticism when more eyes were on you, if you grew up around all these fears and all these worries, and now you are creating something that is very out of the ordinary. I mean, it does not matter if you're making 2, 3, 4, 5, 10K a month, but if you keep hitting that income level and it drops again, that's a capacity issue, right? Because right now I want you to imagine your capacity is like a bucket. And the current bucket is probably small. And in this bucket, you have the visibility that you've created, the income that you have right now, the clients that you're holding, your personal life, that is your bucket. Now you want to be over there. You want to make a lot more money. You want to have a lot more clients. You want to be visible by more people. That bucket needs to increase. Right now, with that small bucket, you're trying to have all these things, attract all these things, but that bucket is so small, it's going to overflow the moment you want more. So nervous system work, what it allows us is that we increase that bucket so that whenever we want to attract more money, more clients, more success, we are actually able to hold it. That's what nervous system work does. Now, for you, it might be another metaphor that helps you understand your own capacity. But I want you to reflect on your capacity in your business. And I want you to reflect on your biggest month that you've had. And if you were able to sustain it, if you were able to not only sustain it, but keep growing from that. Because if the answer is no, then it's not about hustling more, doing more, or working harder, or doing another strategy to increase that. It's about actually you recognizing my nervous system is dysregulated whenever I create a success that feels very out of the ordinary, that feels very new to me, that feels very new to my body. And that is the work that as entrepreneurs, we have to do. We have to be willing to look at what is happening within our bodies when we're creating that success, and how can we regulate our nervous system so that we increase that capacity to create, attract, and hold more. I'm sharing this with you today because I have an exciting offer come up on this Black Friday. So, this is going to be for the woman who has been successful in her business, who has had a great month or maybe multiple months, but you weren't able to sustain it. You weren't able to grow it. And this is going to be for the woman who not only wants to sustain high months, high income months, but go beyond that. So, if you are on my email list, you're going to receive access to the offer this Black Friday. If you are not, I'm going to be dropping a free masterclass down below, which is called the Wealthy Nervous System. I talk about capacity in this masterclass. Sign up to the masterclass, which is a 2-day. So it's around, I want to say, 3 hours that is going to teach you on what capacity means and how you can understand that for yourself on a nervous system level. And when you sign up, you're going to be automatically on my email list. So when I announce the offer on Friday, you will be able to sign up immediately because the spots are going to be limited. You're going to see what the offer is. So you will understand. You will understand why spots are limited. All right. I am very excited for this. Let me know if this resonates with you. Make sure you sign up to the free masterclass. I will see you there. Sending you so much love. Bye-bye.